Hey everybody, once again here in San Antonio, Texas. This is the Commission Podcast being joined by Marcus Davila. My man, brother, welcome back, bro.
What's up? What's up? Thanks for having me back.
No, for sure, man. I know, man, and most will have to go back and look at the first interview, man, but we went through quite a few content, man. I mean, not just, your directorial debut when it comes to the American Coyote, man, or Coyote, but also being here in San Antonio, things that you've done, things you've lived through. I'm going to take kind of off like where we left off last time, and I want you to talk a little bit more about the your martial arts background, bro, because you
Sure.
do have a background in box when it comes to boxing. But what else do you do, man?
I guess originally I uh, I just always found martial arts and fighting as something really interesting, but wasn't good at it until I got a chance to train. My uncle, my great uncle, he opened up a boxing gym here in San Antonio called Doritos Boxing Club, and this was off of Fulton and Blanco, and it was a spot where our family could come and learn, the sweet science of boxing. And I have a cousin that he did amazing in it. His name's Omar Davila, and he brought a claim to our family name, and a lot of people when he started making his name in boxing. Our name, the Davila family, started rising and people started recognizing that. So it made me really proud. It also inspired me to build my name in a way that could be inspiring. And boxing wasn't my thing, just to be honest. I liked boxing, but I wasn't good at it. I was super heavy. So I'm like 13 years old, 150, 160 pounds. And the dudes that were in my weight class were just beasts,
Yeah. Oh
these
yeah, bro.
just bigger body people that would cut, people that were, um, that boxing was their thing. And for me, football, soccer, basketball, all these other sports were really entertaining to me, but boxing is where I got my first start at getting punched in the face.
Oh yeah.
And it was something that I enjoyed a little bit, maybe more than I probably should have, but I trained there when I could, and I had fun, and my cousins really looked out for me, and it was different going to the gym and seeing your grandfather there, his brothers, your cousins there training, and it was a family atmosphere, but it was a den, of fighters, and these guys would come up from Mexico. They'd come and live with our family. They're professionals, and I got a chance to meet some pros, spend some time with them, and that was something that got me started. After I joined the Navy, my first duty station was A school in Pensacola, and when I got there, there was a place called Big Daddy's, and it was this, I guess, club type place that outside there was a ring, and you can go and sign up for, and they put some heavyweight gloves on you, headgear, and you pay $2 for the mouthpiece, and you just sign your name up if you want to fight. They weigh you right there, and you get a chance to show what you got, right? So yeah, so I'm active duty, and I'd go with a couple friends, and it was real cool. Most of my friends, they would just sit and cheer. I had maybe two or three that they would get in, and you would fight somebody close to your weight.
Yeah.
So sometimes it would be 20 pounds bigger, 40 pounds bigger, and I got in there, and I did all right. I did 4-1. I lost one match, and I won four, and it was fun, but it was a brawl.
Oh yeah.
It
Yeah.
wasn't super competitive. These guys were just street fighters or people from the hood that had came in and were just willing to go and throw it down. And after, they'd give you this little medal. So you go, you do your thing, you fight three 1 minute rounds, and then after, if you win, you win, you lose. And but it made me proud, because after, when I won, my boys would be cheering me on, and it was something that when I got back to base, like, my friends would be like, "Hey, we'll take you out to eat," or during the week when we're
Oh
in
nice.
class.
There
It
you
was
go.
something that I got a chance to be proud of. And
No, for sure, man.
then I just I went to the weight room, and I saw some guys grappling, and this is 2002, early
Yeah.
2002, and the Marines were grappling in there, and I was enthralled, with how these guys were getting into it. And his name was George Lockhart, the guy that was running I guess the mats
Oh
there.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so this dude, he's He's a really fantastic person, and right now he's Tyson Fury's weight management trainer. He does food prep,
Oh wow.
and he's worked with Conor McGregor. He's worked with a lot of champions, and he's a really sterling individual that I'll get back to later. But yeah, I just went in and he was like, well, come on, no other Navy dudes would go and grapple these Marines, right? And so I was one of two people, and my other friend Chris Ruiz, he would go and we would go and meet these guys and train there and learn to grapple. And I'd get choked out and choked out and choked out and
Oh
tapped
yeah.
out. And I kept coming back and kept coming back, and then we'd go out to the beach in Pensacola, and we'd go and grapple on the beach there and in the sand. And it was I really enjoyed grappling and that type of fighting more than boxing. I felt like it was something that was more fun, more interesting, because you could use your legs.
Oh
And
yeah.
yeah, and I didn't know the locks, obviously, and the grappling part and aspect of it. So I started watching Pride FC, the first UFCs, and then really just becoming a student of martial arts and Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. That's where I first got my introduction there. Um, Fast forward to a couple years later, I'm out the Navy. I'm overweight, and I see my friend Cruz Ruiz. He gets his black belt over in San Diego from a gym, and it was Dean Lister's gym
Oh
with
wow, man.
Jocko Willink, forgive me.
Yeah.
And Jocko is somebody that I think we all can look up to. He's a really awesome veteran that's helped out a lot of people, but he's really straightforward.
Yeah.
And for my buddy to do that, I was just here sitting on the sidelines, about 50, 60 pounds overweight, just like, damn, my boy got his black belt, like he's stuck with it,
Yeah.
That inspired me to get back into training. And so I first started off at Ohana Academy, and Mr. Jason Yarrington introduced me to Brazilian Jiu Jitsu there with Gustavo Carpio. And it's been a fantastic few years that I spent there. Mr. Bruno Alves was my teacher after that, and I'm a blue belt right now, and I haven't had a chance to go back and grapple with my friends, but I definitely will once I get some of these films out. But it's a beautiful art. I feel that my kids are going to learn, and I teach them what I can. But martial arts is something that's it's kind of either in you or not. You're either going to have the appreciation for the arts or not. And when I meet somebody that has trained is and has a black belt in karate, taekwondo, judo, I'm just like, hey, well, when can we chill? When can we learn? I don't mind getting my ass kicked,
Yeah.
and for the lesson of life. And I guess that's something that I've always been down to put my 2 cents in, because it's like I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of facing somebody one on one. It's just something
No,
that,
man. You
yeah,
see, and that's kind of one of the things because for myself, I mean, when I started here in San Antonio in 2000, and it was before they were using the words MMA. It was freestyle fighting, Vale Tudo. I was with Mike Rangel,
yeah,
but back then, like I used to the same way like you were, man. Like I used to meet guys and they're like, "Oh, I do kenpo," and I'm like, "Bro, like, let's spar." But
yeah,
I would say it like honestly, I would say it in a friendly way because I was just like, dude, I want to see what I can do, but and they would take offense, like, oh man, like I was challenging them, and I'm like, nah, bro, like I just want to learn, like I want to see if what I'm doing works. If not, then was I'll add to it or take away, and but it was hard like in the beginning, man. I ain't gonna lie, dude. Like going to these boxing gyms, my stance was always wrong. When I would go to judo, like my grips, my certain submissions, they were like, "Hey, you can't do that. That's illegal." And I'm like, I was like, "What, dude?" Like it was just
legal,
yeah, like I
right?
was
Yeah, I
yeah,
know.
crank his arm, But it was there was a lot of things that we couldn't do, so it was like it was hard for me to go and cross train, man. And I would try, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like I would go to gyms and they throw me out, bro. Hey, you gotta leave, and I'm like, what? Like, bro, I'm willing to pay. Like I'm interested, Like
Yeah,
it was just crazy, but I mean. It is what it is. I mean, the sport has evolved, and people realize that, or for the most part, some people have realized that, you need to add some grappling to your form or some striking because it's not, it completes a full circle, man.
Yeah, adding that extra level of being able to take somebody to the ground to finish is something that keeps you safer and them safer. Like honestly, you can stand up and throw chingazos, for as long as you want, but somebody's gonna go down at some point, and you want to finish the fight there. So the safest way, is through a good lock or a good hold or putting them to sleep, and that's something that I enjoy learning, and I don't mind putting my body into the grinder to learn it and be better
No,
at it.
sure,
Yeah,
man. Now let me ask you, bro. Earlier you were talking about the that event that you were doing out there in Florida, man. When you would go and you would pay, for
yeah,
your mouthpiece and sign up.
yeah.
Uh, it was a minute, but how long was that minute when you first went in there? Did it feel like an hour, bro?
Oh, it's different because what happens is if you haven't trained, the gloves get heavy and you want to throw, and they're throwing at you faster, than because you feel like they're throwing at you faster or harder than you want them to. So it's like, okay, you start moving around and you start getting your rhythm back and moving away, and then boom, then your arms don't feel so tight. But the first thing to happen is your wrists and your arms just feel tight because you haven't been throwing the gloves, right? And then it just keeps getting tight into your arms. So instead of holding and blocking up, your hands sag, and
Oh
then you just
yeah,
start
automatic,
getting
bro.
wild with it. And that's what most of these guys do anyway. So I mean, it becomes real sloppy. But the first fight, I won against a guy that didn't have the boxing skills that I did, and I won by everybody cheering, so it was cool. But my arms were done, and after I thought, you know what, like I need to practice hitting the bag. So I hit the bag that week, came back, got a better win, cleaner, and got a chance to put a couple people down, and it's a good feeling. I lost the fight, but after the dude, we were friends, and it was just we went at it for 3 minutes, 1 minute rounds, and boom, 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 and he'd get me, and I'd back out, and it was fun,
Yeah.
to me, because I felt like I was in a safe environment where I could safely fight these people and didn't have to worry about getting stabbed, there's somebody else getting shot, somebody else coming to hit me in the back of the
Oh
head or kick. Um, Unfortunately, I've been in a couple of those, those brawls, and that's something that I guess made me appreciate and enjoy being able to compete or fight in a ring. Yeah,
no, no, for sure, man. And of course, I mean, like we had mentioned in the first interview, man. I mean, as far as San Antonio, man, I mean, you've called San Antonio home. Growing up, I mean, of course, we had talked about not so much, I mean, for me personally, it was a neighborhood. That we had some good neighborhoods, some bad. I mean, just middle school and high school, man, trying to get home. For me, it was the gang mentality was at an all time high in the '90s. So it was like me going home was like I lived out of district, bro. So and I wasn't even gang related. I was nothing, But I was, people would like be driving by and following me, and telling me one or the other, and I'm just like, man, I'm just trying to get home, bro. Like I live right down the street, like.
yeah,
But it was crazy, man. And back then, we used to at one point live down the street from the San Fernando gym, so I would pop in there like every once in a while, and there was no for me. It was no training. They had guys that were training for fights, but they would be like they would just point at a bag, and I would just go and try to emulate what they were doing, and it was nothing, bro. But it's just
yeah.
like the same thing like you, bro. Like when I love boxing and I respected the science of it, I respect the technique, but it wasn't for me. Like I wasn't built. I feel for it. For me, it was more like, what, I wanted a complete fight. Like, okay, yeah, we're here, but what if we end up on the ground, or what if, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many what ifs that I just kept looking for something that made sense, and I remember looking at the yellow pages, those youngsters, they won't know what it is, but
Yeah.
I was looking for an ad, and I was looking martial arts, and I'm looking, and it says under reality fighting, and I was like, what the world? And it said, Vale Dudo, Mike Rangel, and I said, man. So I called them. They were like, yeah, we'll be here Monday. So I went, and right when I walked in, I was like, damn, this is it. Like everything,
Yeah.
they were like sparring, and they were like taking down, and I was just like, holy, I was like, wow, dude, like, yeah, this is it, man. And I knew I wanted to do it, but like you, man, the first thing I did was tap out for like the first 2-3 months, just tapping left and right. My cardio, my conditioning was one of the things. I was working out pretty regularly, but yeah, it was a whole different animal, man. Like it wasn't. you can't train for. I mean, well, there's drills and stuff that you can do that now, but back then we didn't know, man. We were training wrong, or training like for strength training or
Yeah.
powerlifting or whatever. But it's fun, man. I mean, I agree. You know, people out there, whether it's one or the other, definitely, look up a martial arts, man.
Yeah, it can definitely change your life and keep you safe. I've been in some situations where I had to use it, and I've done a citizen's arrest maybe less than a year ago on somebody that attacked me with a weapon, and I took the pipe hit, boom, brought it down, took him down, had him in a hold, and locked him up and held him for 7.5 minutes till the police
Wow.
arrived. And this dude's trying to fight back, but the training that I had gained and knowledge had allowed me to hold him in a position where he was absolutely no threat to me, and this is a dangerous person, and it's it's something that I had earned by physically giving my blood, sweat, and
Yeah.
tears, and that's something that people either do or don't, but I feel like if you're willing to put your body into it, then the the reaping will definitely be worth it in the end, and that's something I want to teach my kids is to defend
I mean,
themselves. Absolutely.
you see, and one of the things that I'm pretty sure happened, man, was the fact that you were able to hold back because you could have done a lot of damage, but you chose to just say, you know what, like you said, you don't want to, end the guy's life, or you don't want to, you just wanted to hold him long enough for the authorities to get there. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and that's one of the things that, like, I'm gonna go back a little bit with what I said, because for me, when I was looking for a gym, um, we used to get in fights, bro, back then, and I was in Austin. I ain't gonna lie, I got my butt whooped, man, and
Yeah.
by a wrestler, bro. Turned out he was a collegiate wrestler, big old Samoan looking dude, man. Turned out he was a Native American, bro. But
Yeah.
when I came back, I said, man, I need to learn how to fight. Like, and the thing about it was that I was training so much that it kept me away from everything, bro. Like, I stopped going out, I stopped going to clubs, I stopped going, and I just kept training and training, and I was just, my whole views changed. Like, before, I wanted to learn how to fight, and then before, when I was training, I was like, man, I just want to keep learning. I just wanted to learn how to do it as much as possible, and it just kind of, it's weird the way it works, but it probably saved my life, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, there were in the beginning when I started first training at Ohana, I was still drinking alcohol, and a couple times I came to train like the day after partying at the club at night, and my partners, would kick my ass more, and then they tell me like you have to go all in, if you want to be a part of this at a higher level, and I made the adjustment to go sober, and now it's a little over 3 years. Haven't had a drink, and it's something that being sober isn't maybe the the thing that the catalyst, but my
Yeah,
choice was to become a better person, and for me
right.
that's something that was negative in my life. So when I stopped, started dedicating myself more to training, started competing, going to class, 3-4 times a week, and the weekends instead of just once or twice, I saw the gains, and just like guys do in the gym. When you start eating right, you'll start blowing up. You can go and work out as much as you want, but without the right proper diet, without the full
Oh
100%
yeah.
going all in, you won't see the maximum, potential of yourself. And so I started going in. I won a couple competitions, small local competitions, and it became inspiring to myself. Like, you know what? I can do this. I can do this better than I have been doing before, and I'm still sober, still ready. Always like I can go and do a couple of rounds, but my lungs aren't there. I haven't been eating right, so that's honestly why I don't train, because I'm not ready to give it the all. I'm
Right.
putting it all into my films right now, just to be honest, and I don't want to go in and give half-ass energy and just go over there just to be somebody else's dummy, but one day I will.
No, 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 for sure, man. And of course, talking about films, and I'm going to throw this up there real quick because, of
Yeah.
course, this is going to be the American Coyote, man. I mean, your directorial debut. You're going to be you and your wife, of course, run the and let me backtrack, because the company that you guys own together. I mean, that's just a production company to release movies.
Well, that's our production company that we film, edit, and promote and market our films.
You see,
So we're a one-stop shop. Yeah.
and the last time I meant to ask you this, but because of that, are you guys like doing that with other filmmakers, or is it just for you guys?
No, no. Well, currently we just we work in house with our own films,
Gotcha.
and I got a deal going with Inorama Distribution Films out of Greece, and they're going to be distributing our films internationally, and that's through my agent. So my agent Thanasis Sailopoulos is based in Greece, and I just shout out to Thanasis.
Yeah.
He's awesome, man. He's one of the top agents, honestly, in the world. Our country's our his company that he began is shooting up the ladders. This in this past year, we've been in the top 25. I think right now we're sitting at like 84, 85, but in the world,
Yeah.
and that's something that. You really have to go all in if you want to be broadcasted
Yeah.
all around the world. And for me, hitting it in the United States is cool. You know,
Oh,
it's something that I want to check off. But being a magnet all across the world and being able to
yeah.
spread our films to South America, you know, to Asia, to Africa. I have friends in Pakistan that I talk to that they send me tips. Hey man, check this out for an action sequence. And
Yeah.
social media is the chance to, yeah, to really get worldwide. And for me, it's like San Antonio is where I'm from, my hometown. But this is my launch pad, you
Yeah.
know,
Oh,
and the world is
definitely.
going to be where yeah, where we spread our films out. And Lions Act Productions, we have we go one and one, my wife and I. So I have the American Coyote come in as our first feature film, and then her film is going to be No One Cries for David. Sabrina Trevino is my wife directing that, and that's going to be about David Childress's life story. We got his
Right.
permission while he's in prison for matricide, for for the what he was accused of was killing his mother, and him and his neighbor just made some choices that they're paying for, and he's going to be released in a couple years. And he gave us the opportunity to tell his story. He's had a really difficult life that everybody will get a chance to witness in the film and the book coming after. But we go one and one. So after that is Vaqueros of Hawaii,
Yeah.
and then Sabrina's going to come with hers after, and we're interested in sharing our own stories and films, and I'll help my friends with collaborations, but not anything that will detriment our films or coming
Right.
forward. So that's really our focus, is getting our films out. When I see Quentin Tarantino's, style, it's a very unique style. He does his own film. When you ask him, hey, so why did you do this? Because I wanted to,
Yeah.
and, and that's
I
really how
love
I
that.
feel. Without any disrespect to anybody, nobody's lived my life, nobody's been through what I have, and when I get the camera, I'm going to show the story how I want to. And that's why I'm a director, not an actor. I'm an actor because there was somebody that I had in mind for the role, and they couldn't do it. So I felt like, you know what, I can, and I can do this. But acting isn't my thing, just like boxing. It's something that I'm going to do to portray in this film and story, but it's not my forte. Directing is, and I would prefer to be behind the camera. Sabrina feels the same way, and we just we like to set the chessboard up, set the pieces up, and and give the game plan to the players, and then let the game play out. Sometimes I go off script with the people, or I'll give them the chance to. I give all my actors the chance to go and bring their own feel to the character. So when I give them a script, so it's not going to be meant to be said verbatim.
Right.
I want them to give me their interpretation of it, and I'll always give them the chance to show me their version. Like, hey, if you got a tweak, let me see what you
Yeah.
got. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
if it's good, we'll roll with it, and if it's not, you have to be willing to accept that I'm gonna give you some tips that I feel can bring out the best in your character, in my opinion. And based on early views of our trailer, we got an agent, we got distribution. We recently had Devin Brown join the film, and he's going to be portraying a real big time person in the film. And this is an NBA world champion that's going to come spend some time with us and start his acting career out. And so we're really excited about our films, and we feel like the support from San Antonio has been awesome, but worldwide it's been even bigger. I have people hitting me up every day that are from cities I've never heard of, that are like, "Hey, can you bring the premiere over here, Kansas City? Can you bring it to Chicago? Can you bring it to Denver, Colorado?" And I'm like, "Okay, just get a couple more people, to sit in the theater, and we'll make it happen." Because I feel like I can have a plan for life, but God's plan's always going to be wider and bigger than mine is, and I have to be willing to accept some tweaks, and I don't mind when He gives me those tweaks.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. You see, man, and the fact that you have an agent and he's in Greece, bro. I mean, I think that's brilliant because, like you said, I mean, of course, me, being local here in San Antonio as well. I mean, I want that local support, but at the same time, like I network my podcast towards the Philippines, towards South Africa, Mexico, man. Freaking the whole horror genre, sci-fi, everything's huge out there, and so I'm reaching all these different countries, and it's not because I'm not proud of where I'm from. It's just the fact that what if I can be number one in the Philippines, why not? It's like I want to take it as far as I can, and just for other people to watch and enjoy it, because
That's
I'm having fun with it, bro. So it's why not?
Yeah, para la gente de México, pues
Oh yeah, seguro que
también.
sí, bro. See, man, and I'm actually they had a big horror convention a month ago, and that thing, bro, it was huge, bro. Like I was in awe, like seeing like like thousands of people that just and I was just like, damn, dude, that's crazy, bro. Like here, we get them kind of big sometimes, man, and there's sometimes where we get a good crowd, but it's like it was nothing like out there, man. They were like into it, bro. It was just like hard, brother. So, but
Yeah,
yeah, man, but that's cool, man. I mean, of course, the film, like you said, I mean, the fact that it's American Coyote, man, it has a lot of personally for me growing up, I mean, here in San Antonio, we had people that used to come through and spend a day or two with us and then keep going, and it was part of life for us just growing up. It was like they were trying to better themselves and make it, make that American dream happen, man.
yeah. My grandfather is from Monterrey and San Nicolás de los Garza, Nuevo León. And it's when I got a chance to visit there, you see a different life, different people, right? And now, as I study the history of our family, I see that our family originates from Avila, Spain. And back in the day, they would have so few people with names that it was just your first name and then the town you were from when you
Yeah,
came over to Mexico. So it would have been Marcus de Avila, Spain, when they arrived in Monterrey.
yeah,
And after a few generations, they removed the apostrophe and we became Davilas. But going back to Spain and where our family originated from, checking it out, where we're Spanish royalty. And so this is something that I feel was lost. Nobody told me. I had to look
yeah,
it up. And there's a lot of history I feel that we can share with people now through social media. And I can connect with Monterrey. I can connect with Avila, Spain, like
yeah,
that now. And but I had to learn it first.
yeah,
You have to put the time in, and I'm willing to. And so Monterrey is always going to be in my heart. Avila, Spain, I can't wait to visit, and that's going to be
right,
somewhere that I'm really looking forward to. Just stepping on the grounds that my ancestors did is
yeah,
something I'm really excited to do. And Vaqueros of Hawaii kind of bridges that, where I've been reading a lot of texts in Spanish about these veterinarians that were in Spain and Moorish, and they were the ones that brought the horses originally over to Mexico. Mexico learned it quick. Mexicans are real quick to learn stuff,
oh yeah,
and then and then the King Kamehameha, well, I'll just say King K, the third, brought over Hispanics over from California over to Hawaii to teach them. Hawaiians learned it fast, became pañolos, and came over, and in Wyoming they won the Cowboy World Championships, in
yeah,
record time. So there's beauty in history, I feel, and that's something that I want to share in my films. And the American Coyote has been happening, since they set borders up in our countries,
Yeah.
and that's something that I can't wait to tell and show that story. And I'm really appreciative of this forum where I can get a chance to talk with it and share with people. But we're we're uh, we're definitely excited to bring it forth.
No, no, for sure, man. And I mean, like I said, like I told you the first time, when we first met or started talking, bro, was because of the film, and because of what I've lived growing up. Like, I'm interested to watch it. I want to see like what I want to see how you see it. Like you said, I mean, it's gonna be viewed the way you see the film, and then I just want it's like a book, man. I want to be able to open it up and be like, okay, you know what, let's see where it goes, man, and it's gonna be good, man. I mean, I definitely I'm looking forward to it, man. I mean, like I said, so it's like being that you're here in San Antonio, of course, even better, brother. I'm definitely supporting.
Yeah. Awesome, man. I appreciate it, Spider. This is it's a story that's dear to me, and it's going through like there's a lot of people coming across, and most of them have had to deal with some form of other of this coyote. But you don't get a chance to see the coyote's life. You don't get a chance to see the how he came up or how he got into the gig, and I think it's going to be an awakening for some people, and hopefully they'll empathize with the character, not judge, and put themselves in his shoes and see what he had to go through more
Right.
than what's happening. I'm not trying to make a cartel film, a gangster film. I'm just making a film, from a first person's narrative, and we'll tell the story from his side of view, and hopefully people can get a chance to just sit in the theater or watch it from home, and realize that there's a lot of people going through different things and different experiences than we as Americans or we as people have, and just to have a little bit more empathy for everybody, for brown people, for white people, for black people, for everybody. It's really universal because there's all types of human trafficking going all over the world, and there's people that are against, it's against their will, and there's nothing I can do about that, honestly, besides just sharing the story of Efren, a fictional story of a young boy that had no choice and made the choices that he had to live, to survive, and he didn't really have a route out, so he just went up
Yeah.
and became notorious, unfortunately.
No, no, you see, and that's one of the things too, because I mean, it does happen, bro, where a lot of times, say somebody, the driver or somebody's like, oh, this guy drove the car, he's part of it, and a lot of times it's against their will, man. They're like, hey, either drive the car or you're out, man, or you're getting blasted or whatever the case may be, But it's I mean, it's one of those things, that stories that people don't want to hear, because it's like, oh, they're all guilty, But it's like, hey, this guy, and I say that from a personal experience, dude. There was a buddy of mine's mutual friend that, we had seen him and he used to hang out, and we saw him in the news, and I was like, oh damn, and it was just that, it was his drive by that, and he was the driver, man. And it turned out, like, later on, that they were like, yeah, bro, like they were at a party, and the guys were like, hey, you have a car? Yeah, okay, well, you're driving this. And he's like, what? Like, nah, man. And no, no, he's like, hey, man, they took a gun out, and that was it, man. Like, he had no choice but to drive them somewhere. He didn't know what they're gonna do, and a drive by, and it was just, it's just like innocent people got killed, and like all of them got taken in, bro. But I was just like, damn, dude, like, I mean, what can you do? You're in that situation where you're like, hey, man, either I drive the car or I'm dead, and but yeah, because of that, I'm glad you're doing these stories, because it's from a different angle. It's from, like you said, it's not to immortalize and say, oh yeah, everybody should do it, but it's more like, hey, you know what, these are people that have no choice, that this is all they can do, or they're put in a situation where they have to do it because they don't have any food, they have family, they have kids, and it's just it's a bad choice, but it's the only thing they can do at that moment, man.
Yeah, I really I feel like our people haven't had a chance to be in entertainment business and television. I mean, most people, when you think of Latinos in TV, you think of gangster flicks, American Me, Blood in Blood Out. And while these films were, capitalizing on our thirst for Latino films, one of the few people to make it through and be in other types of stuff is Mario Lopez, and there's a lot of talent in the Latin American community. I got one of our actors who's a really famous singer, Mr. DJ Kane,
Yeah.
and he's just been touring in South America. And I see his posts, his videos. You just see thousands of people
Oh
congregating here to hear his music, and he's the voice of the Cumbia Kings. You know, he's
yeah.
the one that had us dancing
Oh yeah.
and still does. And so to have him on board is really awesome. But to see the power of storytelling, you know, through music, through film, is something that I feel is untapped in the Latin community. And I'm just trying to scratch the surface a little bit. So maybe my kids can go through and break that door open a little bit wider. But hopefully it'll inspire people to tell their story and to share their version. You know.
No, no, for sure, man. And of course, I mean, you have mentioned you already threw some names out there, man. But who are some of the other actors that are going to be in the film?
Okay, so we have Michael Ocho Terena, also known as El Ocho. He was the first person to sign on, so that's my bro right there. He's really helped me out in so many ways, and we talk every day. He gives me tips of what I can do going forth, and we got Robert Vincent Barrera, who's going to be making his debut. He's been in the music business about 30 years and bringing Latin acts all over the United States and doing lowrider shows. We have Peter Mark Vasquez, El Chivo
Yeah.
from Blood In, Blood Out, who's going to be coming out in it. He was also in Kindergarten Cop, Colors. We have Panchito Gomez, who played the younger version of Edward James Olmos in American Me. We have DJ Kane, like I said. We have Devin Brown, who's joining the cast, a world champion for the Spurs, and JJ Fernandez, a big actor out of Houston, Texas, and here's San Antonio, who's making his name and blowing up. It's growing, and I just feel like these men are have given me the opportunity to portray them in an awesome way, and I'm trying to do my best to make this film as big as I can because these guys deserve the spotlight. They have some kick-ass performances, and I'm excited to show everybody. Every day I'm working on the film, and it's just edit here, tweak here, color here, promote here. We got recently got a sponsor coming on, Sober Society, who's going to be helping us out, and that's something that I feel real strong towards because these last few years I'm sober. That's why I can focus on films. Honestly, I haven't gone out, not worried about partying, not worried about clubbing. Forgive me, but I'm not really worried about anybody else's red carpet or being there because
Yeah.
I'm hyper focused on completing my goals and I can't, like just spend time outside. I'll enjoy that more than I will working on films, and then that's just gonna prolong all the work that these men have
No,
done,
yeah.
and then these people have done in joining the film. So I feel like I owe it to them, owe it to San Antonio, owe it to my family, and owe it to the world to put forth the best film that I can. And every day I'm focused on working on that and bringing that to y'all.
No, no, for sure, man. And I was gonna say, I mean, we have no desire to be out. I mean, here we are Friday. It's like Friday night, 6:30, bro. Here we are at home, man. You know, it's like and that's what I always tell people, man. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Man. I got water back here too, man. And but I tell people, I say, you know what, dude? I mean, everything I have at home, I have everything I need at home. So it's like for me, it's like for I get invited here and there, and like I'll go to the fights and I'll go, cover events. But when if because it's work, like if it's not work, I won't go, man. I'm just like, ah, man, like I'd rather be home, dude. I ain't gonna lie, this is it. But
And they
being
either understand it or they don't, honestly. And it's I don't really have time for people that don't. Like I don't argue with people online. If they have something negative to say, I just block them. I don't wait for them to say two or three things negative. It's just
nah, bro.
I don't have time. I don't like I
Yeah,
just tengo cosas que hacer,
yeah,
por mi gente, por mi raza. No,
yeah,
I'm not gonna waste it arguing or bickering online. There's
yeah.
so much better things that I could do in my life and my time. And yeah, I try to stay positive and I save my fights for the gym,
There
like
you go.
not
There you
for
go, man.
online.
Put it on the mat, brother. Let's go.
Absolutely.
But man, I mean, of course, man. When it comes to the film, I mean, when are you looking to have it ready as far as being released and having it streamed? I mean, I know you said you have a plan, but what is it?
So I'm looking to have everything completed by February. All of my principal photography, and then we're going straight to editing and adding our score. And I'm looking towards the summer of 2024. And our first premiere is going to be in Dubai, in the United Arab Emirates. That's our world premiere. The NASA's is going to be coordinating that, and after that, we're going to do Athens, Greece, and then San Antonio will be the first United States city that we go from, and then we're gonna bounce around all over Texas. I got Robert Barrera, who's gonna be helping me run that show. He's already done this with his actors and lowrider tours, so I'm really appreciative that he's taking me under his wing and helping show me, like, look, this is what we can do here. We'll go here. We'll go Dallas, Houston, Laredo, Austin, El Paso. And so we made our little route. I made the post, and then I had a couple people hit me up. Hey, what about this city? What about this city? Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm working with everybody that I can to bring the film into the theaters, and then the streaming will begin right after. So I'm thinking around August we should be streaming everything, but rough estimate is summer to fall. Everything will be complete and out for everybody to see.
Man, and of course the premiere in Dubai, man. As far as you said, like Abu Dhabi, right? I mean, is that going to be out there?
Abu Dhabi is another city that's
Right.
I think about 100 miles away, if I'm not mistaken, or
Okay, okay,
something.
okay.
But yeah, Dubai is the one of the capitals of the world,
Right.
if not the capital for releasing films. And for me, getting into the Asian market with my film is something that has been a goal. And San Antonio is awesome, and I know that we'll have a lot of support here. And I'm trying to share my film with the world now, with the beauty of subtitles. People are going to be able to understand my film,
Yeah.
and not have to speak my language, and that's something that wasn't always possible before with film. And that's something that I really am looking forward to. And streaming is going to be cool, but I want to be there to talk with my fans after, and host these premieres and be there so that they can get a chance to ask their questions and have an experience, with the
Yeah.
filmmaker, with the actors that were in it. And hopefully it'll breed some new filmmakers, and we'll get some new films coming up from people that didn't think that they had the opportunity to, just like me.
Yeah. No, no, you see, man, and that's pretty cool, like you said, because if you're gonna be out there with the films, man, I mean, people are gonna have questions. So for you to be able to answer them right after, that's freaking perfect. That's like people are like, hey, man, well, why did this happen, or what was your portrayal in this? What were we trying to get through? And so I'm sure they'll come, man. So
Yeah, I appreciate that, Sweater. Yeah, little by little. I believe in grassroots promotion. So my friends, I shake their hand, I show them the trailer, my new friends, and it'll grow. And that's something that I feel time will is on our side.
no, no, no doubt, man. And of course, bro. I mean, this was basically like the continuation of the first one, man. And I mean, I still want to bring you back, bro. I mean, this
Sure.
conversation can be ongoing.
Yeah.
We'll talk about other stuff. I mean, of course, to throw the film and projects in the works for yourself and your wife. That you guys have coming up. But
Perfect.
but man, we'll keep this going, bro. I mean, we'll
All
do
right.
another one, in a week or two, man, and we'll see what else we can come up with. But I appreciate you, man, as always. Thank you for jumping on this.
Oh, thank you. And the Coming Soon podcast. Take care, Spider. Appreciate you,
Not a
bro.
problem. No, don't hang up yet, brother. Everybody out there, of course, once again, Marcus Davila. This is Spider, the Coming Soon podcast. Till next time, follow up.